Having a full day of fun and fishing on Lake Murray is a relaxing time for many people, but did you know it's also a way that one local nonprofit recognizes our nation's heroes? Today, we're talking about the Troop Appreciation Foundation Fishing Derby. Here's more. Joining us now is President of Troop Appreciation Foundation, Mike Glover. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
We're so excited to talk about this fishing derby. So we have a lot to cover here, but first, tell us what a fishing derby is.
Well, the foundation was actually started in 2012 with the intent of just wanting to do something special for soldiers. Everyone loves the outdoors, so what's better than maybe inviting a group of soldiers to Lake Murray for a day of fishing on Lake Murray? So what will happen at the Derby, we'll have at least 21 boat captains that will donate or volunteer their time to host on their boats at least 2, 3, or 4 soldiers for a day of fishing on the lake. They will target striped bass, and they won't come back in until they have a limit of fish.
And something really special happens at the end too. You've got some people who are going to prepare those fish.
Oh yes, once they get done, the boats will typically shove off around 6 a.m. Some will come in within a couple of hours. Most will come in within about 4 to 5 hours. When they get back to the dock, it's time to take pictures. You got to have proof that you're on the water.
Right.
They will start walking toward the shoreline where I'll have a weigh-in station set up. They'll weigh all their fish that they caught, and then they'll ship them off to the fish cleaning stations. We have 40 plus volunteers that show up to make this thing happen. 21 boat captains typically, 40 to 50 shoreline volunteers. All of that's necessary to host the event that we plan.
Now you know a thing or two about fishing, so tell us a little bit about your experience.
I have been guiding on Lake Murray since 1986. I love this lake. There's not a better fishery in the state of South Carolina. I've had an opportunity to take people fishing from just about every state and every planet or every continent on the planet. If you can find a lake that has better striped bass fishing in it, please tell me where it is.
Wow.
I don't think you can tell me. It's just that good a fishery. DNR does a great job managing the lake. The water quality out here is pristine. There are no fish advisories, no fish alerts or warnings in terms of the consumption. It's just a beautiful place to spend a day fishing.
And how relaxing to just spend a day and fun to kind of get that competition going too.
God's gift to us.
Right? So you've been doing this Troop Appreciation Fishing Derby for more than 10 years now. I'm sure you have some amazing stories about veterans and service members who have really enjoyed their time, but how did this all get started?
I actually had an opportunity to take a colonel and 2 of his captains out on Lake Murray fishing. They chartered my boat. At the end of that trip, I actually turned to him and I said, I think I can do something better than just say thank you for your service. And he said, what do you have in mind? His name was Colonel Forsyth. I said, Colonel, I think I can get a few of my friends to volunteer a day of their time on the water, take out some of your soldiers. If you can get the soldiers, I think I can get some boats. And he went, how many boats can you get? And I went, how many soldiers you got? He said, I have a battalion. A little more than what we can handle.
Wow.
He got a few of his soldiers together. I got a few of my friends together. We didn't know what we were doing that first time out. It was one of the best days I think I've had on Lake Murray fishing. The soldiers loved our taking them out and letting them spend the time catching some striped bass. Honestly, I thought I was done at that point.
Really?
I've done my part now. About 8, 9 months go by, I get a phone call, Colonel Forsyth. So what time are we going to do it again this year? What started out as a one-time proposition has now, fast forward, we actually started in 2012, so was that 12, 13 years later?
Right.
We're still at it.
And still going strong, and 2023 was definitely a year to remember because you got a really big recognition from the state.
Yes, we were nominated and received an Angel Award, and those are pretty special. I think only 12 were given out every year, and it's 2 foundations that use donations in a very frugal and I think effective manner. And honestly, I didn't know we had been nominated. And
really?
I got the phone call and I went, okay, this sounds pretty good. I went home and I did some research and I went, oh my God.
Little did you know how prestigious that is.
We are special.
Very special and making a big impact through the fishing derby and through other events that you have going on during the year. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we will host at least 2 fishing derbies on the lake every year, one for soldiers. Always, we're going to host something for the military every year. The second one will be for first responders. So this coming fall or late summer, we're going to host an event for Lexington County Sheriff Department. Sheriff Kuhn has agreed to allow us to take out 20 to 25 of his deputies. This is our way of saying thank you to our first responders. We really appreciate what they do. The cool thing I like doing though is what we do around Christmas. We actually will purchase round-trip tickets for soldiers to go home for Christmas. Any branch of the military, we don't have any group targeted or anything of that type. If they served and they want to go home for Christmas, and I can get in touch with them, typically I can find a way to make that happen.
Now, do you have any special connection to the military or any specific reason that you like to give back?
I never served one day in my life.
Really?
Not one day. There are 2 kinds of people in the world. People that care and people that care less. The people that help us do this, they care.
They care a whole lot.
They care a whole lot. They put a lot of time, effort, sweat equity into what takes place out here in June. June 13th, this place, there will probably be 200 plus people that will show up. You just don't have the soldiers here. You don't just have the volunteers, but you have a lot of people in Chapin and Lexington that just want to come have lunch with the soldiers and say thank you. And the soldiers
amazing.
love it.
Oh, I'm sure. Just that great fellowship time that sometimes we take for granted. And I'm sure it means so much to them. And another really great thing that you all do is for this fishing derby, it's people, service members from all branches and all abilities too.
Yes, if you were in a wheelchair, we'll figure it out. I was telling you earlier, we have a person that's going to be coming this year that's legally blind. We will figure it out. A number of the soldiers have service dogs. Not a problem. In fact, last year we had some service dogs and I asked, well, how did the dogs behave? And the boat captain said the dogs behave better than the people.
Wow, wow.
So there's no person that we won't try to figure out how to accommodate if I have enough time to, get with my group and talk to them about it and explain what the circumstances might be.
Right, and once the service members get back with their fish and they're all weighed up, there are some very nice prizes.
Oh yes. That's the cool thing that takes place that day.
Yeah.
Dominion Energy is one of our big sponsors. They actually support us in a very meaningful way. We have lots of gifts and prizes we're going to give the soldiers. First through 5th place gets some super duper prizes, but all the soldiers get to leave with what we call appreciation gifts. The average gift is around $150 to $200. So there'll be 60 soldiers coming this year, so we gotta find a way to make that happen.
Well, if someone wants to learn more about your mission and the events that you guys put on, how can they find out?
Go to our website. It's the troopappreciationfoundation.org. Anyone that would like to help us, volunteer, or make a donation, my phone number is there. You can reach out to me. Feel free to call me anytime.